your fingers on the beats.
J to the F to the fuck you. Now that I got that out the way, fuck you. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. Prepare to be slaughtered. Prepare to be targeted. You can't fuck with my heart and shit. Yeah, this is lights out. For my brothers, get your whole fam wiped out. For my fam, get your whole universe destroyed. Take your face off, all cast Detroit. I'm a disaster boy, extinction level asteroid. Impact is fashion noise, born in the blackest void. He talk shit, he ain't know who he's facing. I cheese grade him, get savage, that's the TNathan. No patience like they shut down the hospital. Wins against me, it's not possible, not probable. Man, it's all illogical. I've been sick, this shit is chronicle. Hands we hold them, the face shows how we fold them. Y'all keep making noise trying to get noticed. Y'all can't see me, you got no focus. I show up, they disappear. Hocus pocus, this is war, no respect. When your pores come to sweat. When I call on Artie from 41 Select. Target select, target acquisition. When them shells rain down, you look like a bad car collision. Come get it, come with it, I beat him. Mission or play it safe and hit them from some distance. Long range, close range, however I deliver. Shit you gonna remember, I go for kill shots, it's not to injure. Man, these bars got no hold. Show them how to use the flow. Man, you can't move the flow. They stay pissed off, cause I'm this hard. I launch rocket raccoons, countdown to lift off.
Listen, hit them with my missile, blow they spaceship the fuck up, decapitate Russian sickle. Ravishing Brock rude, disrespectful nigga, hakaluga, you been your food. Shit, far from a small fry, knuckle up two black guys from black guys. Listen, man, bust flames I don't miss. No game, long range, turn your dome to red mist. People on TikTok, face to face with rock, talk shit, you get knocked out. Damn. Conservative static, sight, picture, bus rounds, hunting season, you silly rabbit. Tricks for kids. Act bananas, I will kill you when I step across city blocks. Eddie Brock, Godzilla. Face me, face to feet, get beat, hands and feet, turn your face to mince meat. Listen, yo, I'm not no hero. Forward, down, forward, high punch, grab spine, sub-zero. Can't forget about Robbie, have him run into the cops crying, Brock just robbed me, damn pussy. Street fighter with black fist, KO uppercut, bitch nigga.
But you can. What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? There you go. That's how y'all look. Greetings, salutations. What's going on tonight? How y'all doing? It took 3 attempts. What took 3 attempts? What I missed? Yeah. Everything good? Everything good? Alright, good. Well, this is TNathan. It is 10 o'clock on the dot, right? It's exactly 10 o'clock, right? If it's not, it doesn't matter. I didn't ask you. It is 10:05 Central Standard Time, 11:05 Eastern Time. And at this time, it's conversation with TNathan time. Agree. How's everybody doing? How was your day? How y'all been doing? We had a rare, I guess I'll do that. If I see that I'm going to have an abbreviated show at night, we'll do a little live during the daytime if we're available. So that was my plan, is to have an abbreviated show tonight, because the movie in Bootleg Movie Theater is Heretic. And somebody told me that they wanted me to show this movie because it sounded like I was talking. So I see what Hugh Grant has got going on. Verification check. Greetings. So welcome everybody. Robert, what's up? Good to see you. But like I say, if you feel like you need to lay down, get some rest, you go right ahead. How can he ask if he's on time, then say nobody asked? That is called the dichotomy of uncles. Yeah, do as I say and not as I always say do. Yeah, same thing. We'll figure it out. Just don't figure it out wrong. I have it set up where we're going to listen to some of the interview with Kim, the attorney, former attorney general, uh, state attorney of Chicago, talking about she's not surprised about what happened in the Jesse Smollett case. And that was my topic for tonight when we found out. And I want to say this, and I don't care how you feel. Um, I'm happy. Let's go, Jesse. Let's go. Yeah, I'll take it. And anybody who wants to argue with me and say he was guilty, find me a legal verdict. Yeah, he has never admitted to guilt. So, yeah, if you all can elect a person with 34 felony convictions, then I can root for Jesse Smollett. Let's go. Let's go. And if you want to have this arguing with me about, well, he guilty and yep, he's not have he does not have a guilty record of anything because that case was overturned and you can't use anything that was in that case and they're not taking it. The Supreme Court of Illinois didn't just send the case down and say you all can retry it. They say y'all dismiss this shit. Yeah, dismiss it. That means that, yeah. And I had already intended to play Jesse Smollett's new movie during the holiday season called, I think it's Holidays, The Holiday Home or something like that. But it's in the lineup for bootleg movie theater. And all those people that want to argue with me in the comment section talking about he was guilty. Nope, you can't prove it. You can't prove guilt because he never admitted guilt. Nope, can't prove guilt. I'll take the win. I'll take the win. It's y'all legal system. Y'all legal system. Yeah. Trump is not getting his sentencing deal. I'll take Jesse Smollett. Yeah, I'll take it. No. Anybody want to argue? Anybody want to argue before we get to the interview? Like I say, hold on. I want to see. Tell me if y'all can hear this.
The Trump organizations when she was running at a time when she was considering joining other states attorneys general in a.
Can y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that? Okay. I just wanted to make sure before she came on and we get to the interview because I want to hear what she has to say. So y'all gonna listen to it with me. I want to hear what she has to say because remember, Jesse was found guilty by a jury. That jury trial has been dismissed. So no matter how it got dismissed, there is no guilty finding. Yeah, that's it. No guilty finding. Fight me. But Matt Gates is out. Gates is out. It's not fair that Jesse got justice and Trump was convicted. It's not fair. I know you just. Hey, I know you're joking, Divine. I know. It's just not fair. I am doing. Oh my goodness. And then this is the funny thing, pressure. It's like that's just how they sound. That's just listen. And my thing about it is, you say, "But get man, he did this and he did." Y'all made it a big issue because if all these white boys run around pulling pranks and they get, if they get anything, that was a misdemeanor charge. Yeah, well, yeah, and like I said, can't prove by me he did it because the evidence is that trial was declared illegal. So y'all had an illegal trial, so all the evidence was illegal in it. So I don't know. I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, sit down. I'll take it. But yeah, Cam. But the infighting with the Republicans couldn't start soon enough for me. It could not start soon enough. I was listening to I was listening to Matt Gates's. I was talking to Petra earlier, and I wanted to know what Trump had said because I be on these things early, right? So I had seen it earlier that he was. I saw his tweet earlier, but I wanted to know what Trump said. I had to call Petra because Petra got Truth Social. I don't trust myself on Truth Social. I would get an FBI stalking charge on Truth Social. Yeah, the Secret Service and FBI would have me on another watch list. Yeah, already. Yeah, I got her. I was looking former Attorney General from Florida. It's still the same thing. What's up, cowgirl? How you doing? You didn't send me the text. You didn't send me the email. I wanted to read the email. Yeah, I seen. That was early today. I saw that from earlier today. And then listen. When I saw her sitting next to Trump in the picture they showed her in, because she, like I say, she's the former Attorney General of. I got to make sure that we keep up with it. She's former Attorney General of Florida, right? And I saw her at the table, and I was like, "Yep, you understand that the only test when y'all arguing about people's experience and who's not experienced to hold a job and all that, y'all just look foolish because y'all not picking them. That's not what they're being picked for." Y'all see, this is what gets me when I watch Democrats argue about these picks, and they be like, "Oh, they're not experienced." Who went to the hospital today in Florida? I don't know who did. Y'all be arguing about people's experience and trying to like pick more experienced people. What? I'm all here for the fire. I'm all here for it. It never fails. Democrats always take the moral high ground, like, oh, we got to let them know that they picked inexperienced people. That's like my enemy picking up a gun that has rust on it and me telling them, hold up, before you use that gun, you need to clean it and make sure it doesn't have any rust in it. Y'all really scare me sometimes. You all really be out here having these whole ass conversations about the experience of people, and instead of laughing. Every time I do a video on the Rocket Raccoons, I'm doing a video on the Rocket Raccoons and reminding them y'all haven't got a cabinet position yet. Talk about experience. The only experience Donald Trump is looking for is loyalty. So you all the ones that look like fools. He's picking the people he wants. Remember, he won the election. just, just be looking at y'all. Sometimes I'd be like, how to train your dragon in 60 days to blow fire in your face. Yeah, hey, no, I'm here to laugh. I'm here to, all of my videos talking about them are to compare the fact that you picked two people at least. You picked two people at least. Before you picked any black person, you picked two people, not one with a questionable essay history, but two of them. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. You got Linda McMahon. Is that how you? Is that her name? McMahon? Linda McMahon? Is that her name? Uh, Out here, who was getting DDT'd in the wrestling ring a couple of years ago as the Secretary of Education. It is just comical. 15 minutes till halfway. All right. Yeah. You you got you put Dr. Oz in charge of Medicaid and Medicare. Right. I tell you who didn't go to the hospital today. I don't know who went to the hospital today. Somebody went to the hospital today from Mar-a-Lago. I know who didn't go. I know who didn't because it's not in the news cycle. So it wasn't Elon Musk and it wasn't Donald Trump. So I'm I'm hedging my bets then. Look, you picked Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz. Listen. Let's be realistic. Look at the people he's picked outside of Marco Rubio and Mike Huckabee. You picking people that just been on TV. You picked reality. He got more reality stars because Pete was a reality star too. It was an ambulance there. Well, like I say, it wasn't the president elect, was it? Wasn't the president elect? Yeah. If it wasn't the president elect, I'm kind of like I don't know where to go with it. Crazy how there's no talk about the ambulance being at Trump's place. Yes, they did report it who it was. They did report who it was. Who was it then? Who was it, Denise? Hold on.
Key players. Kim Fox live with me next.
All right, Kim Fox is up next. We'll be listening to Kim Fox interview in just a moment. I can only hope. Denise, who was it? If you, what's up, Jazzy? You coming here asking who it was? If you know who it was, tell us, because obviously it wasn't Trump. I mean, President-elect. This cabinet reminds me of that idiocracy. It was funny then, and it's funny now. It is hilarious, Cam. It is hilarious. I'm sitting back, but see, it's hilarious in a different way, right? Because they basically getting what they get. It's like they were just hilarious. I'm not questioning the IQ of any of the people on the cabinet. Don't get me wrong. When y'all talk about intelligence, I don't talk about intelligence because regardless of the fact, these Tulsi Gabbard, all these people, they're intelligent. They're just intelligence in service to morally corrupt principles that you all don't want to talk about. But it's funny to me to watch. It's funny to me to watch because how long, sorry, they didn't report who it was. Like I say, I'm not, if I look at if I look at Trump Palace too hard, FBI be on my front door. So I don't even look too hard. Because if something happened, I want to be able to say I was looking to the North Pole. It's like people read my thoughts if I look too hard in that direction. So it'd be like Minority Report. Anybody remember Minority Report when they arrested people before they committed crimes? Just yeah, that's what would happen. What's up, Light Post? What's up, Light Post? Let me see if I can find out. All right, Petra, you find out. But yeah, people be like, he looked too hard and something happened. He planned it. I was like, yeah, oh. If I plan something, at least we get the benefit of planning it. Yeah. Republicans miss. Republicans is fighting for guns and they can't even shoot. They can't even shoot. You had two jobs and missed. Ready for cleanup? Not now. My automated my automated weekly cleanup decided now was the time we want to clean my computer. It's like, what? I'm usually here this time of month. What made you pick today? But that's where we are as we wait on because I got a lot to say about anybody want to fight about Jesse Smollett. I told you. Jesse Smollett can do no wrong. then and then I hear these people talking about, well, everybody, Jesse Smollett is gonna be out here like he Dr. King and he not Dr. King. If you looking at Jesse Smollett like he Dr. King, that sounds like a you problem. It was fake. It was fake, Petra. All right. Claim Trump taken from Mar-a-Lago in an ambulance on November the 21st. Ex-post formerly directed, yada, yada, yada. Neither Trump nor anyone at Mar-a-Lago who was in protected by the Secret Service left the property in an ambulance or experienced any issues, a Secret Service agent said. So, I like the way that's worded because it's like, yeah, it's worded well. It says neither Trump nor anyone else at Mar-a-Lago who is protected by the Secret Service. So they mean that none of the people I care about were escorted away, but they didn't say that an ambulance didn't come. The ambulances was there. Oh, the ambulance were there as part of JD Vance's motorcade. Look, you can't even you. That's right. Let me get this right. It's okay. Hold on. We gonna come back and laugh at that afterwards.
Lies came to a dramatic conclusion today. It evolves after Jesse Smollett, star of the hit TV show
Here.
Tens. And as the show hit its peak, Smollett said that he was the
victim of a racist and homophobic attack in Chicago in 2019. At the time, he claimed that two men wearing MAGA hats targeted him with racist and homophobic slurs. Now, Smollett said that they tied a noose around his neck. He yelled out, "This is MAGA country." Now, according to investigators, they believe Smollett staged the entire attack. He was charged. The Cook County State's Attorney reached an agreement to dismiss the case in exchange for community service and a $10,000 bond.
And no guilt. No guilt requirement.
As well, with some of the top politicians weighing in. A special prosecutor was brought in to investigate, and Smollett was charged again. He stood trial, and he was convicted in 2022. Now, today, to bring it current, the Supreme Court of Illinois unanimously overturned that very conviction.
That's a
They ruled that Smollett's trial should have never even happened. They didn't get the substance of the case, but because of that initial agreement with the prosecutors. The special prosecutor says today's decision, quote, "does not clear Jussie Smollett's name. He is not innocent."
That's what the prosecutor said. That's not what the court said.
And no status. Jussie is back to where he was. He's presumed innocent.
Well, joining me now, Kim Fox, the Cook County State's Attorney behind the initial deal with Smollett. She joins me this evening. Thank you so much for being here. Kim, you called the second criminal case against Smollett at one point mob justice. Do you feel vindicated by the Supreme Court's decision today?
Thank you for having me. I feel like the Supreme Court decision affirms what I learned in my first semester of my first year of law school, which is that you cannot try someone for the same crime twice. And so it's vindicating in that we should never have been here in the first place because we find ourselves back where we were in March of 2019.
Some are thinking, look, a deal is a deal. He performed his end of the obligation, the community service, the relinquishment of that bond. That seemed to be the agreement that was made, and yet he was still charged nonetheless after a special prosecutor came in and got involved. Why do you think that special prosecutor truly became involved in this case?
Dan Webb is one of the preeminent prosecutors in this country. He was a former U.S. attorney for the Northern District here. He worked on Iran-Contra. He is a prosecutor who knows the law extremely well. Dan Webb also knew from the very beginning that this would be double jeopardy. I think the cries and demand for justice, if you will, was driven by a desire to get a different outcome. And the law doesn't allow us to do that. And Dan Webb knew that from the very beginning, which is why it's no surprise that a unanimous Illinois Supreme Court said that this was not. So I think politics were at play, and Dan Webb was allowed to participate in a political act.
Many people wonder whether he got a sweetheart deal. That was always the phrasing of this. I have been a prosecutor. You and I have talked about this. The idea that prosecutorial discretion sometimes is very offensive to people and the choices people make about the plea agreements they offer. Why did you choose this route as opposed to a more severe punishment?
Well, first and foremost, as you know, Cook County is the second largest county in the country, and we have the second largest prosecutor's office in the country. And we are dealing with every day on the ground here issues of gun violence, sexual assault, domestic violence, very serious cases. What Mr. Smollett was charged with was disorderly conduct. He was charged with filing a false police report. And in cases like that, with someone who doesn't have a criminal background, generally we would offer what we call a diversion program or an alternative prosecution. And this was someone who didn't live in Chicago, who worked here. And so what was offered to him was similar to what we would offer someone else. But he was allowed to do his community service in advance. He forfeited his bond. And that is in line with someone charged with this level of offense. That's what he got. He was actually treated like everyone else. The secondary prosecution, where the criminal justice system was upended to go after him again, that was special treatment. And that is beyond what our Constitution allows.
What would be the impact in your office for prosecutors in your county, frankly, the nation, if this were allowed to stand and a defendant could make a deal hold up his or her end of the bargain, and then later on, because of public outrage, you could say, never mind, I want something different.
It would absolutely upend the criminal justice system. And really, when the Constitution was formed and the 10 amendments were put in, the Fifth Amendment that allows for protections for the accused was at stake here. And at the end of the day, when you make an agreement, and we knew that all along, when you make an agreement and someone fulfills that agreement, that contractual obligation between the two should stand. If we are allowed to have political prosecutions, or as his defense attorney said, persecutions based on mob outrage, then as a prosecutor who took an oath to uphold the Constitution of Illinois and the United States, then there's no place for me. And what happened here, and what is frustrating to me, is that the special prosecutor knew that, the judge who appointed him knew that, and somehow thought that they would escape the ultimate eyes of judgment of the Supreme Court, which found that you cannot do this. This is fundamentally against our constitutional principles.
Now, just to be clear, and many people followed this story from the inception, they want the court to focus on the merits of the underlying allegations that he made. This appellate court did not do that. He's always professed his innocence. Why didn't you have him admit any guilt in the original deal? Why?
No guilt has been admitted.
Was that normal?
We have agreements where people can do conditions without necessarily having to admit guilt. I think at the end of the day, this case was something unlike anything I had ever seen, not just the underlying allegations, but the intense media scrutiny that was involved. We're talking about our courthouses were packed with cameras, packed with reporters. I had child sexual assault victims having to walk around to get to their courtrooms beyond the spectacle. And so I think what was at play here was, how do we ensure that there's some accountability for the action? We can't even make the agreement if we don't believe that Mr. Smiley was culpable. And so we did that.
So you believe that he was not innocent?
Of this case. No, I mean, ethically, this is a former prosecutor. We can't ask you to perform community service or forfeit your bond if I don't believe that I have the merits to take this case to court. So that was never an issue for us. The indictment that our office issued for Mr. Smollett was the same evidence that was ultimately used against him in the secondary trial. So this wasn't a matter of whether or not we believed in his guilt or innocence. It was a matter of how do we dispose of this case and allow our resources to go after those who are engaged in violent criminal acts and still have accountability for what happened here.
He maintains his innocence this very day, and there are those who look at the discretion that was exercised, especially in a time when we talk about who is above the law and things. Do you think this case represents justice?
I think this case represents what prosecutorial discretion is all about, which is empowering prosecutors to decide how to use their limited resources to advance for justice in their communities. And at the end of the day, Mr. Smollett and what has happened in the 5 years since, and the millions of dollars of taxpayer money that have gone into secondary prosecution on a non-violent, low-level, one step above a misdemeanor case, that is not justice. I believe the people of Cook County who have had to pay for this second prosecution, that again, the special prosecutor knew at the outset was not a prosecution, is not justice. I think we find ourselves back where we were in March 2019, and I believe that the disposition of that case, while maybe different than what many would have expected, was proper.
County Attorney Kim Fox, thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. There you have. That's why I tell people, no matter what y'all think, don't y'all say, it didn't have no admission of guilt, and nothing that happened at trial was legal. And she is right. This was a charge that any normal person would have gotten the disposition he got on it. He didn't have to admit guilt. He just had, and the reason people don't realize about the community service, he had did that community service before it was court ordered, and because he was he was doing community service at Operation Push. And while I can't stand Operation Push, Meanwhile, I can't stand the founder of Operation Push. That would be Jesse Jackson. I keep up with the activities they engage in. So it wasn't that it was court ordered at that time. He was just already doing that kind of community service. They just gave him credit for it. And $10,000, people don't stars pay money to make cases go away that they're not guilty in because they got things to do. Like I said, I don't have an admission of guilt in this case, and you can't use anything that happened at the trial because it's fruit of the poisonous tree because that tree should have never been planted. So, as I said, Jesse Smollett has not been found guilty of anything. Where's your stimulus check? Ask your mama. Ask your mama. Is she bringing me snacks with it the next time I come over? Just checking. Just checking for a friend. I just want to know if she buying me snacks next time I drop by. Ah, hello, Chicago in here with this snow. What's up, Chicago in the house? Like I said, I don't want to hear anything about Jesse Smollett when we have a president with 34 felony convictions that were found guilty of um, raping a woman against her will. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Like she said, they spent millions of dollars in 5 years trying a case that she had dispositioned with a year and a half prior to them taking him to trial. They tried to make her look like a fool too, right? But in the end, y'all got less than you started out with. And I'll be like, run me my money. I spent time in jail on this charge at a illegal hearing. Run me my money. Run me my money. You can't wait for the next pandemic. You're weird. You got somebody over here on YouTube talking about they can't wait for the next pandemic, y'all. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, and we know what time it is. Who are coming to bootleg movie night? Glad I didn't miss the live. Good. You see Trump. Look, your vote costs 45 cents. No, no. Wait a minute. We don't even know if he got all the stimulus checks, Denise. He might be just in the 25 cents a day range. For 25 cents a day, you too can buy a vote. Can it be pandemic that only affects MAGA? Well, I'm sure that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. believes that since he believed that COVID only affected certain people. But yeah. To close this out and open up, um, hold on, hold on. I have to switch switch a screen over here. I know I got more screens than the law allows. Let me switch a screen over as soon as I get the screen fixed over. Robert, this is what I was told. Um, like I said, if you haven't seen the previews for Heretic, they told me it was. It told me what? How did they term it? It was a cerebral horror movie. So you got to bring A game to the movie. Bring A game. But what I'm about to do is to close out here, and we're gonna head over. Let me prep it. Dun, dun, prep it to prep it up. We're gonna call it Rick. Put some letters up there. Put some letters in here. Hey, let's head over to Twitch and watch Heretic. And then I want y'all to read about Covenant, Conclave, because I want to watch that also another night this week. I'm getting that stimulus check. You know, you do you, boo. You do you. But if it comes down to your intelligence coming up with a virus, microbiology or something, I think we're safe.